Hello, beer tubers, and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hoppets. Today, checking out some Trillium beer. It's been a while since we did some Trillium, but Trillium is one of those breweries that really has a special place in my heart because it was one of the breweries that really got me into the haze craze. I've even visited the brewery, mashed into one word, even. I've even visited the brewery myself. So I've been to the Canton location, I've been to the original location, I've been to the beer garden. It was an amazing time. I have videos from there. It was in 2018. I got to hang out with Nick, who did the What Cheers blog on YouTube, which was dope. Bennett as well, Aaron. I actually got to meet Aaron randomly this year at NBCC. Her husband works in the beer industry with hop growers and works for Crosby Hop. So it was really fun to meet them and hang out because I haven't seen them since 18, which I was just super random. I was like, hey, I've seen these people before, or at least I've seen Aaron before. But yeah, that was so much fun. So had such a great time there. And I just haven't, for some reason, really drunk Trillium for a while because it's been sporadically available in Europe. Maybe also because I've been a bit sick of haze. But I saw this beer and I was like, I need to get it. I picked it up on Beer Republic, not a sponsored video or anything. I just wanted to let you guys know where I picked it up. Found it on there. I was like, yeah, they still have some. Let's get it because it's a well-known release because this is Big Bird. So Trillium, again, they're known for these big hazy beers, and Big Bird is one of their more acclaimed beers. I think the first beer that really got a lot of hype from these guys that was a bigger double IPA was Headroom, which I reviewed from the big bomber bottles. And back then, like when haze was young, like, oh, such fun times. I traded for so much of this stuff and just went nuts and was like, oh, this is the best beer style in the world. And now I had it so much that I'm like, yeah, I do not agree anymore with that statement. But still, hazy beers can be awesome. So this is Big Bird is an 8.5% hazy double IPA. And what's funny is that the label changes pretty much depending on whatever can you pick up. It's kind of random, I guess, at least here in Europe. Because they have a drawing contest where you can draw Big Bird. So the original label was just the big legs, because they have the Tiny Bird series where it's like small birds on the label. And I think they're like pale ales. And then they did Big Bird, which is like a big double IPA. And instead of having a bird, you could just see the legs because it's a big bird. Now, since then, they've done these competitions where people could draw the labels. And I think that's really cool. Like, get people involved and then you get something like this. I guess a child who drew what is this? A mermaid horse dragon bird, something like that. So yeah, it's really cool. So this beer is a beer they're a bit secretive about. They say it's about specialty grains and unique hop varieties, but they do not really talk about the hop varieties that they use. They say it has tropical fruit cocktail notes, fresh pressed orange, ripe pineapple, lemon, spruce tip spice, key lime pie, mandarin orange, grapefruit pith, kiwi, cantaloupe, honeydew melon, papaya. A lot of descriptions here. They have the entire malt backbone, and they use a lot of malts. American two-row barley, white wheat, dextrine malt, flaked wheat, Valley Danko rye malt, Valley Tritic ale malt, malted oats, and dextrose. It's quite a grist there. But yeah, they keep the hops secret. And I don't think it's to make it secret. I think there's a few breweries that are like, we're not going to put hops on the label anymore because it puts ideas in people's heads. Like they're going to expect something, and that's not always what you're going to get because hops are a agricultural product and they will change from year to year. So, you're not always going to get the best crop. That's just how it is. But let's check out Big Bird. So pour is a very nice hazy golden orange color. It looks quite saturated. It has a bit of that bright yellow hue to it as well. Looks nice in the glass. White head. Let's check out the aroma on Big Bird from 24. Very orangey, very tangerine-y. There's some sweet stone fruit as well, like passion fruit as well, pineapple, maybe more passion fruit than pineapple. But there's definitely like undercurrents of like these sweeter stone fruit, almost like a little bit like Starburst candy notes. I think I got that sometimes actually in Trillium beers. There's a very big yeast profile. Also like cooked pineapple actually. The sweetness of a cooked pineapple. Yeah, really tropical, but also like really citrus forward. I don't know about like spruce, tippy, piney notes. Maybe it's like there's a soft note on the end that's like a bit like old school. But I'm sure this would have popped a whole lot more like when it was fresher. I'm also getting a bit of a strawberry vibe now. It smells really good though. Let's try it. Cheers. I would have loved to try that fresh. That's great hazy IPA. Trillium still got it. I haven't drunk Trillium for so long. What's really interesting, it's very juice focused. Like there's a lot of tropical juicy kind of vibes to this. And it does have the same like really intense digging, saturated kind of bitter bite as you get with like a lot of like West Coast haze. It's really soft too, really pillowy. Like that's really good haze. I can see the grapefruit now. There's a little bit on the back end. And like this zesty bright kind of, they talk about key lime pie type notes. I'm not picking much of that up. It's more like really, really tropical and like definitely the sweeter tropical fruits. There is some uplifting brightness, a little bit of an herbal note. Like this must be a really heavy saturated beer when it's fresh because like there's so much hop flavor still. And the can is again like 3 months old. So I'm guessing like they're probably hopping this really hard, but these guys probably also really have stuff in tune in terms of dissolved oxygen in cans and all this. It's just working surprisingly nicely, and you can feel the dextrose in there. It gives a sing of dryness, but it's just that touch, like to dry everything out. So it's like it's still sweet and also perceived sweet because of esters and hop flavors, but the dextrose just like makes it finish just slightly dry in the mouth, so it's not like too like cloying. This is really banging double IPA. Like man, I'd love to try this fresh. I'm sure it's great. There's a lot of stone fruit. There's also a lot of this tropical fruit. I'm getting a lot of the cooked pineapple, a lot of the mango, also papaya. It's like it leans into the sweeter notes, but there's also some of the slight bright tropical vibes as well. A little bit of a pineapple-y brightness besides all the cooked stuff, and there's a little bit of that herbal tone. I do see a touch of the grapefruit, and I do see a touch of like a minty herbal note on the back. But yeah, man, I'm sure this was really fucking banging fresh. I would imagine this fresh was 95 plus. It would be like world-class haze. Right now, it's still really good, and I'm impressed with the condition, actually. They really have their oxygen levels dialed in. But I'm also not like, it's not my all-time favorite hazy double IPA, but I'm impressed how well it's holding up. Maybe I should try more Trillium again. That was a very flavorsome burp. But this is good stuff. In terms of a grade, I mean, what I really like, it's actually really well balanced. Like sometimes some of these really saturated hoppy beers, they can also get like a little too much towards the end, sipping on them. This is like fairly dangerous, and the 8.5% ABV is not traceable at all. It's so smooth and like just really nice to drink. So it just like goes down a little too hard. Like it strikes a really great balance between dryness, slight brightness, and then loads of juice. So like it just didn't get too much of a sweet juice bomb, which is really nice, although it leans into the classic East Coast juiciness. Yeah, I'm debating 93, 94 actually, which is crazy for a can that's old. This must be maybe even more than 95 when it's dead fresh. Because it's fucking drinking really nicely. If you guys had this one, let me know what you thought of it. As always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and ring the bell for future notifications about beer reviews. I will say cheers, and see you guys in another one of those beer reviews.